Good Friday afternoon. Thank you for joining us for The News Now. I'm Wright Gasway in the 24-hour newsroom. By now, you probably know we're live on our website. We're live on our app. We're on Amazon Fire as well as Roku. We're also on Twitter and we're on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, feel free to interact with us. I'll get back to those questions a little bit later on. We do have a lot going on this afternoon. I want to talk about some national, local, and even regional headlines. And first, I want to talk about some national news. We're following some breaking news out of the Houston, Texas area. Police confirm at least 8 people are dead in another school shooting. The shooter is in custody. This happened around 8 o'clock this morning at Santa Fe High School. That high school is about 30 miles southeast of Houston. At this time, there are reports that a male student went into a classroom and opened fire. He is being identified as 17-year-old Demetrios Pagorts. Thankfully, someone pulled a fire alarm to alert everyone and got everyone out of the school. Investigators did find explosive devices at Santa Fe High School and at areas near the high school. As I said, the school was evacuated. Let's take a listen to what the chief of police had to say about the number of those injured.
We know that there's been at least 6 transported, including one Santa Fe ISD police officer that has been shot. We have 1 suspect in custody and 1 person of interest detained.
And as you see, that's Walter Braun, the chief of police there in Santa Fe. This is a picture of that suspect. His name is Demetrios Pagorts. He's 17 years old. He is a student. Once again, all of this happened about 30 miles southeast of Houston this morning in Santa Fe, that high school right there near Houston. This is the student in custody. As many as 8 are dead. There are some reports that 10 people are dead. That includes teachers and students. We'll, of course, follow this, and we'll have more on this on The News at 4, and then this evening on The News at 5 and 6. Some more breaking news. This stuff coming out of Cuba. A Cuban de Aviación Boeing 737 with 104 people on board crashed on takeoff about an hour ago. The plane took off from Havana's Jose Marti International Airport. This is viewer witness video right after that crash. The flight was headed to the Cuban city of Holguin. Clearly, injuries are reported in this crash. We do not know about the number of deaths. The destination is about 500 miles east of the Cuban capital of Havana. Witnesses say they saw a large fireball and then a towering plume of smoke. Once again, this is video from right after that crash, and it was near the airport on the outskirts of the Cuban capital. Cubana de Aviación is Cuba's national carrier, and they have had to ground some flights on its aging fleet because of safety issues. However, right now we do not know the cause of this crash in Cuba. Once again, 104 people on board that plane. Back here closer to home, C&T officers, the Chatham Narcotics Task Force team, they scored a major victory against a local gang. They've had a year-long investigation into this gang. Our Jarvis Robertson has more on this big bust.
Hey there, digital friends, Jarvis Robertson here. I want to let you guys know about a story I'm working on for our 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock newscast. I did speak with a gang unit from Savannah PD today. They told me that they scored a major indictment of a gang right here in Savannah. It was 5 guys, all a part of this gang, and it goes by the name of Village Boys Soldiers. They're located out of the Carver Heights area here in Savannah. A lot of information coming out, and they told me that this investigation was about a year long. Be sure and tune in to these news at 5 o'clock.
Jarvis will have much more on that on our newscast throughout this afternoon. Sticking with the Chatham County news, 2 important items this morning on the agenda for the Chatham County Commission. The first, commissioners saw the 2019 proposed budget for the very first time. They also got a presentation from the C&T director. He talked about those arrests, but he also talked about how they plan to keep repeat offenders off the streets. Our Sean Evans explains.
Hey everyone, Sean Evans here reporting. Just getting back from Chatham County Commission meeting today. Several points that we're going to highlight for you later on WTOC News. The first being the budget for 2019 being shown to county commissioners for the first time today by the county manager. We're getting an idea of what some of those numbers are here a little bit later today, and we're going to be breaking those down for you later today and into the first part of next week. Also, C&T's director, that's Chatham Savannah Counter Narcotics Director, giving some numbers in his bi-monthly report to Chatham County Commissioners, not only talking about recent success in pulling criminals off the street, but they're also talking about how they're going to try to keep repeat offenders off of the streets as well. That coming up in discussion with several county commissioners today with the director. So those points, also some others that we're breaking down for you. Again, that'll be just ahead on WTOC.
And Sean will wrap all of that up for us tonight on the news at 5 and 6. Now, here's some news that might make you smile or it might not, depending on what you hear from Qatar. But the South's largest water fight is set to take place tonight at 6:30 on Tybee Island. The Beach Bum Parade is underway. People there will get soaked in that water fight, but many have an eye on the wet weather for this weekend. Cutter Martin has those details for us.
Heading into our weekend, we're going to be tracking increasing moisture. You can kind of see that general setup this morning. Area below pressure still to our west. That kind of counterclockwise flow is pulling in moisture from the Gulf and the Atlantic. So get you into your Saturday. Again, this forecast model begins early tomorrow morning. We could see isolated morning showers, not a complete washout, and going through the day, almost like a typical summertime pattern. We'll see that sea breeze boundary organized, fire off a few showers and thunderstorms out there, particularly inland from the beaches and moving further inland through the day. So by afternoon and evening, really Savannah, I-95 corridor, the beaches largely dry, and then as soon as the sun sets, we'll lose the energy. Thunderstorms gone and back to just the isolated chance of showers. So through the rest of the weekend, maybe a quarter to a half inch as an average for additional rainfall. Some could see more, others seeing less. Bottom line, the weekend is not a washout, just one to, of course, plan around those showers. You can do so with radar in the WTOC weather app.
All right, we had to keep you in suspense a little bit there to hear what Cutter had to say of that forecast as it changes or as it doesn't change. Andrew Gordon, Dave Turley, Jamie Ertl will have you covered through the weekend. Taking a look at Facebook, I don't see any questions here. We do have some viewers on the Facebook app. If you are watching on Facebook, if you're not watching on Facebook and you want to in the future, that's the best place to interact with whoever's hosting this show. If you have questions about the news we cover or about a story that we have going on that day, we can take those questions and answer those for you. If there isn't anything here, I will sign off. I'm out of news here, but we're on air starting at 4 o'clock with Romney and Mike, and then again at 5, 5:30, and 6 and 7. We hope to see you there on the other side of the television. For now, I'm Wright Gazaway in the 24-hour newsroom.